Welcome back to Two Gens, Two Cents, folks. We are going to cover all the global flashpoints, conflict news, and potential wars, everything you need to know.
Little
So,
update skis.
we're going to jump right into it. Russia accidentally is firing on its own jets. This is awesome. North Korea testing nuclear capable hypersonic missiles. They got the technology from Russia. Also, Russia is breaching the Non Proliferation Act and they're giving it the technology to Iran as well. Massive African coup is underway. AI weapons are deployed for the first time. And the sleeper story here is Pakistan, India are heating up again. India refusing to allow Pakistan to use the water supply that was signed in by a treaty. And this is about to lead to a full scale war. Here we go, folks. Let's dive in. That was a lot to chew off. Any questions?
No, that was a lot and a little. So I'm gonna let you dive in a little bit more before I start asking questions. So if you guys didn't watch one of the last ones, Mark is obviously well versed and endowed in all this information. I am probably like many of you. I do care, but I do not really watch the news as much. So I have an economics background, big in the stock market and the financial side of things. But I'm going to be learning along with you a little bit here, sometimes. So keep that
Yeah.
in mind.
All right, so let's talk about the first one. North Korea is developing a hypersonic nuclear capable missile. This is a problem. This is a problem. Our Patriot missile defense systems fared well against hypersonic missiles. Russia has the Kinzhal missile. We shot a lot of those down. Well, Ukraine shot a lot of those down with the Patriot defense systems. But hypersonic still, it's from North Korea, so China or Russia, most likely Russia, gave them the technology. Russia and North Korea have a defense pact. And so basically, North Korea is providing Russia with men and ammo and artillery shells, and Russia is providing North Korea with technology. So,
So what is hypersonic, or what is the difference between a regular nuclear warhead and a hypersonic nuclear warhead? Because I feel like North Korea has been trying to develop weapons for a really, really long time, but I wasn't
yeah.
aware of the difference here.
Yeah, so great questions, and I'm not a physics major, so I'll answer this the best I can. Regular intercontinental ballistic missiles are relatively slow, easy to track, and they also don't change direction rapidly. Hypersonic missiles have the capability to change direction rapidly, and they fly at a much higher rate of speed. Um, Hypersonic means basically it's louder than the sound.
Sound
It's quicker
barrier.
than sound. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's constantly traveling quicker than the speed of sound. Essentially, that's what hypersonic means. But yeah, these are missiles that move a lot quicker and evade defense systems a lot easier. Just it's a big problem. And with North Korea, they're a impoverished nation. Um, not just us being in the crosshairs, Japan's in the crosshairs, South Korea, which has tons and tons of American soldiers in the crosshairs.
Would
Major
they would
situation.
they would they ever nuke South Korea though? Because I feel like they would be directly still in the fallout zone.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, there's also tactical nuclear weapons. And another thing is, in the Cold War, nuclear weapons, the radiation lasted a lot longer. They were more like dirty bombs.
Hmm.
Today, the new weapons, the new stockpiles, they essentially burn hotter. So the radiation of fallout doesn't stick around quite as long.
Interesting.
More powerful.
So we got to
It's
look
it's
out for
almost
North
like
Korea now.
it's
Again.
almost like diesel fuel, right? If you imagine diesel fuel, when you run it hot, you don't see as much exhaust. Whereas if you're not burning all that energy, you see a lot of black, thick exhaust, kind of the same way with radiation.
Interesting.
So, yeah, the trajectory patterns are showing capability of hitting Japan, Guam. We talked about that. Huge U.S. military presence. U.S. and South Korea are scrambling jets frequently now, and satellites are showing the new launch sites are near the Chinese border.
So nothing new really there. It's kind of on the same place as it's been. They're just
Yeah,
preparing
yeah.
essentially.
This could trigger a new arms race in the Asia world. So something to watch out for. Story two. I don't have a lot of information on this. Kind of a newly developing thing. But Africa, there's a huge coup. The continent's kind of in turmoil right now. In West Africa, that's where the coup is. It's destabilizing the region. Russian Wagner replacements are showing up. This is interesting because Wagner, the leader of Wagner, was killed in Russia. It was an assassination attempt after he actually tried his own coup against Russia. So I figured they would disband the Wagner operation, but they're still using it. France is scrambling for influence after years of decline. Refugee surges into Europe. It's probably one of the most chaotic periods in Africa since the Arab Spring. Major powers are using Africa as a chessboard, and people are paying the price. I mean, we talked about the last episode being the Neo-Cold War episode. Not only is Venezuela about to get colonized by the United States, but Africa is, during the Cold War, Africa was a hotbed. Everyone wanted to establish influence and get their footprint over there, and we're seeing the same thing. It's another Cold War.
So would it just be, I guess, just to have a geographically good area for ports, or like, are they just trying to influence the government over there in West Africa? Like, what would be the point of having a stronghold there?
So there's a lot of reasons. More allies, more troops in the event of a global conflict. If my base is here and you put one here, now you can attack me. Resources, if there's resources over there they can acquire. Financial gain, deals, workers. There's a lot of upside to it. All right, this one has the ingredients to be spicy. India versus Pakistan, the sleeper conflict is starting to heat up. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but Pakistan gets most, if not all, their water through a waterway that goes through India. And back in 1940, 19-ish, 40-ish, there was a treaty signed, and this treaty allowed the water to flow through India into Pakistan. There's been some issues. Pakistan and India have really fought since the beginning of time. But they had the peace treaty to allow water to flow through, and India has canceled that. They've rescinded it, and they're enforcing that militarily. So Pakistan's going to have to respond. And if they don't, there could be a lot of deaths. There could be a lot of people dying, and that is an act of war in itself. So pretty big flashpoint.
Yeah, and are either one of those countries a part of the UN?
They're all part of UN, but none of them are
Both
part
of
of
them
NATO.
are?
Yeah, but not NATO, if that's what you're thinking.
Well, I was just wondering, like, where would the U.S. side on that if it does turn into actual military conflict between the two countries?
Kind of up in the air. I would have said India, but India's taken a pretty strong stance to back Russia in the Ukraine war. They keep buying oil from Russia, which is helping fuel the war machine in Russia. And the United States has made several statements about sanctions and India not doing that. And India basically flipped them the bird and said, we'll do what we want. We're buying Russian oil. So with all that transpiring, I'd say maybe Pakistan. But again, Pakistan's got a lot of terrorist cells in it. So I'd say we'd probably stay neutral. We might sell them equipment, but I think we stay neutral. Plus,
Wow.
India is a strong supporter of China, and China supports India. They're great allies. So that's a problem there too.
India's a big country. There's a lot of people and not a lot of area, but they have a lot of power there, I suppose. A lot of scammers.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Have you seen the movie Terminator before?
Of course. Who hasn't
Okay.
seen Terminator?
Okay. So do you remember our intro when I talked about AI weapons being utilized?
No.
Yeah, so let's talk about AI. AI is starting to infiltrate nuclear facilities. AI has become drones. AI has become robots. Uh, who's to say that AI doesn't gain sentience and turn on us? I'm just saying that the United States now has drones that will fly with an F-35 as wingmen, and I don't know how many you can have. I know at least 3, and these are autonomous drones flying with F-35s, helping them in dogfights and ground striking ground targets.
Yeah, it does not surprise me at all. I mean, we've been seeing, Boston University making that robot like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, a lot of manufacturing, as you're aware of, is done with robotics and AI now, and it's being funded. There's a lot of money in those chips and NVIDIA, and so it's going to grow. I'm on with you though. I mean, if it literally can learn, you can't say what it can't learn. So
exactly.
If it learned,
there's a new leaked military report that an autonomous drone acted without direct human command, which has triggered emergency closed-door meetings in the Pentagon.
Yeah, it's a touchy one that we've been talking for a long, long time about. Kind of for my parents. I mean, since Terminator, and like in our generation, it'd probably be more like iRobot with Will Smith. If you've ever seen that movie, it's kind of the same deal. Yeah, I mean, they're going to get smarter if you can't control what they can't learn. But at the same time, everything is going to automation because it's saving these companies so much money on labor and time. I would find it hard to believe that all of these big corporations would just say, we're just not going to use AI because we're afraid it's going to take over us. I think there would be too many people that would say you're crazy for us to just get rid of it. Yeah. Especially because there are benefits that we've already, come across. But yeah, no, I think it's more real than sci-fi right now, actually, that's possible.
Yeah, and
hopefully not at my lifetime or my kid's lifetime, I guess.
I don't know if you guys are aware of the pizza index. Hoffman, have you heard of the pizza index?
Have not.
Okay, so
speaking of pizza, I had A-Zip today. Had me a little West Sider.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can. It's pretty small. Okay.
Yeah, so the pizza index is something you guys can track. Basically, every time that the United States has launched operations, when Operation Midnight Hammer commenced against Iran, the pizza index spikes. And so what the pizza index is this grabs all the sales and calls going into pizza facilities around the Pentagon. And so when the Pentagon starts ordering crazy amounts of pizza, like we can look down here and see this pizza place has an 136 percent spike. So when this happens and it's just a ludicrous amount and all the pizza places are getting slammed, here you can see it's quiet. But it's something we'll watch, and if we see something spike, we might talk about it. But if this said high or threat likely, I would say it's probably a Venezuela attack incoming. But yeah, pizza index, everybody, in case you didn't know.
New to me.
Yep. So again, we got massive cyber attacks hitting major European banks. Israel and Hezbollah exchanged their heaviest artillery in months. Brazil military on high alert after riots. China kicking out foreign journalists. The global stock market's jittery over multi-crisis fatigue. Everyone's worried about World War III. So what could blow up next? North Korea fires a missile over Japan again. India orders retaliatory strikes into Pakistan. A rogue AI drone malfunctions during a NATO drill and sparks conflict with Russia. What's next? I don't know, but the world is spinning quicker into chaos and turmoil. And I don't know what shoe's going to drop next, but I think it's going to be Venezuela.
Yeah, I have no idea what would come next. Like I've been talking about on the previous episodes or shows, I'm still seeing all the Marine commercials, so I know we are still gearing up and preparing. Until I see those come off every single football game, I'll know that we're good. But until then, we got some stuff going on, and it could escalate very, very quickly.
Yep. That's all we have for today. We will update you once a week if anything breaking happens. We will cover it then. If you guys like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you'd like to hear us talk about anything else or you have questions, let us know.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. We'll talk at you on the next one. Peace.